With these energies and this "you mean the world to me" card, I'm hearing the big conversation. So it feels like somebody has been rehearsing what they want to say to you. Someone has been planning the perfect moment to express a lot of feelings that they have held inside for quite some time. This is somebody that has weighed the pros and cons of what it means to hold their truth within or take that leap of faith forward. And there's been like a unanimous decision, finally, is what's coming through. Like, finally, there's a unanimous decision where the head and the heart are both in sync with one another. That as much as they may be kind of afraid what happens next, this might be somebody who has been single for a while. And so opening up about these feelings means kind of going from being a bachelor, going from being a bachelorette, to the experience of like, okay, we're a couple, or we're exclusively dating with one another with the intention of very quickly, very soon, very shortly, we're going to make things official, we're going to make things exclusive, we're going to be monogamous with one another. And this is somebody, it feels like, that is kind of taking a deep breath and getting ready to speak. They're taking a deep breath, they're getting ready to express themselves. It feels like they don't necessarily want to do this through like written communication, although for some of you, that might be necessary if there's distance as a factor, or something where it's still kind of early on in your connection. But it feels like for a lot of you, this is somebody that wants to like meet up in person and express some truth to you. This is somebody that wants to, talk to you on the phone, have that like, FaceTime interaction with one another, something where it's kind of like, I don't just want you to read words on a page. I want you to be able to kind of read the seriousness of my intentions in my eyes. I want you to be able to feel energetically into the depth and nature of what I'm trying to express to you verbally. This is somebody that may have a very hard time opening up about their emotions. They have thought long and hard about like, what are the right words to say, how to get this out correctly. It feels like this is somebody who has, even if they're going to have like a face-to-face conversation or a phone call, they've definitely scripted that out in practice. They practice in front of the mirror. They practice in front of other people's. There's been several versions of what this declaration involves, what this opening up emotionally involves. And it's a sense like they finally got it right. They got that final draft. They feel ready within. They might even just, have come to the point of like, I'm just going to have to wing it. I'm just going to have to improv because nothing comes out right except for when I dip into my heart space and feel in the moment and just let those emotions out. So it feels like for a lot of you, this signals kind of the wrapping up of one stage of your connection with one another and a big step in a new direction. And for some of you, this is even a big step in the form of like, if this person has a really hard time talking about their emotions, they're going to start to kind of, this is what I feel. This is what I want. This is what you do to me inside. And like for them, that's a big moment to use words like that. And it's not just a one-off. It's like, I want this to start to be involved in the nature of like our ongoing interactions with one another. So even if I can't get it out all at once, that we're walking hand in hand very gradually at a pace that like I can be comfortable with, but I'm also fulfilling certain expectations that I know you have as far as what you need to hear, what you need to know in order to keep your heart open to this connection. This is somebody that it feels like they're putting a lot of pressure on themselves, to not just be kind of like what you need them to be or what you want them to be, but something that they almost envision is like a better version of themselves, somebody that is not afraid to express themselves for fear of rejection, not afraid to express themselves for fear of being vulnerable, someone who's not afraid to express themselves, for fear of kind of inviting another person in to that emotional territory inside. And you so far have satisfied this person on tangible levels and intangible levels that it's safe to be themselves, as messy as that is, as put together as that is. You've been very like understanding. You've been very empathetic. You've connected with this person on a lot of levels. You may have a lot of shared kind of like fears, fear of vulnerability, fear of getting hurt in love. And so there's a sense of kind of like, I want to lead us forward beyond that Even if we're afraid, I want to take your hand and I don't want to let go. And we're going to walk through that fear together. And I'm going to be the first one to take that step in that direction, so that we're experiencing a new landscape between the two of us. We're living in the midst of like a new horizon where these feelings aren't just bottled up and held inside. I'm not just suggesting things, we're not just kind of dancing around sort of that issue of feelings or, the nature of the intensity of how you make me feel inside, but that this is something that like we're both being brave together and entering into that emotional territory. Not just as like a one-off experience, but like this is what is involved in the new season of our connection with one another. Yeah, we also have I am hiding my true feelings for you. So this feels like something, this is like a big act of bravery on this person's part to say the things out loud that they have just been like holding inside for quite some time. It feels like they've had this conversation with you like 100 times in their mind. There may be some telepathy going on, or you're sensing like these waves of, just serenity, of love, of intense kind of romantic pressure almost that's coming from them. You may have been like, okay, it feels like they have something to tell me. It feels like they're wanting to take things to the next level, but then they're just keeping it surface level. They're not getting to the point. You might have been the one now that is kind of like, okay, am I just reading too much into this? Is this wishful thinking? Am I just kind of projecting onto this person? Like, what are they thinking? What are they feeling? And so there's a bit of where you're able to kind of pick up on that. Some kind of need to know on your part, and a need and a desire to express themselves on their part, that it's like, I've gotten it perfect in my mind. I've seen all the various ways that this can play out between the two of us. But when it comes time to speak, when it comes time to express myself, when it comes time to look you in the eye, to take you by the hand, to, share with you this truth that has gone unnamed between the two of us for so long, that's where I falter. That's the challenge. That's the mountain. That's what I want to walk or to ascend with you. And this is something that it feels like this person is hoping that you'll be patient with them as they kind of like, they almost feel like the words will just tumble out. Like there's a sense of, I want to get it just right, but there's a part of them that knows it'll probably be messy. It's not going to go as I planned. But maybe that's exactly what's necessary in order for the truth to really hit home. This isn't just kind of like, yeah, I love you. Yeah, I really like you. But there is something deep and intense that didn't just happen overnight inside of me. Or maybe it did happen overnight, but that was a while ago and that feeling hasn't gone away. And so it's multiplied, it's intensified. It's become very rich inside of me. It's a truth that I can't hold back. It's a level of wealth that I hold inside thanks to you and thanks to this connection. And I can't just keep it for myself. Like it's meant to be shared between the two of us. So it feels like, get ready to see like a romantic side of this person. Even if it's something where these words come out and it's kind of like, they stutter or they have a hard time expressing themselves. It feels like something in the midst of the effort that they make to speak, to say these things, to really just be very clear about that. You're going to feel energetically so much more than what it is they're expressing. It's like they're bringing all of their faculties online. Like, I just have to tell you this. I have to push this connection forward to the next level in this way. And I hope that you'll hear the words that I'm saying, but I'm hoping that you'll read between the lines of that. Not that you're jumping to conclusions, but that words are not enough to express the intensity of what I'm feeling at this point and what I need to make known to you. So this is somebody that's very hopeful. They almost might kind of tremble when they speak these words to you. Their voice may shake, but there's a sense of that is because these are not just accidental feelings. These are not things that have happened just sort of momentarily. This person has been kind of clutching this truth inside of them for a while, and it's like, I can't hold back anymore. I have to give you this truth so that we can move forward with that knowledge out in the open for one another. Yeah, and we also have, I've never felt this way before. So you have cracked open this person's heart space. You have awakened them to a level of potential, romantically speaking, that it feels like is far beyond even the deepest love story they have experienced in their life. There is something that what they feel for you now is so intense. This truth that they have kept within that has just been sort of silently germinating within, kind of blooming in the darkness inside. All that has not been spoken has intensified. And this is causing them to sort of think, well, when I speak these words out loud, and we hold that knowing openly between the two of us, and in a way that then the world knows. Like, this isn't just kind of a secret truth. This may also be like, I want to be public with our connection. I want to make our relationship official. I want you to know how it is that I feel, and I'm not hiding away from that truth. I'll tell anybody that wants to listen. People that don't want to hear, I'll tell them too. You tell everyone. Let's just hold this out loud between the two of us. And then they look skyward and they think, well, then beyond that point of disclosure, what next? What happens next week? What happens next month? What happens next year? What happens next decade? Like, they're thinking in terms of big picture ideas here. And there's a sense that you're opening their mind to the potential of, this could be the love that I've been waiting for. This is something that almost feels like a rite of passage for them and for you emotionally. That your experiences with one another up to this point and the way in which they've held this truth within, maybe they've kind of honored that sort of fear of vulnerability, and instead of rushing too quickly into making these things known, they've like honored their own boundaries and sort of like, no, I'm going to hold back. I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if we can, build trust with one another in other ways. I'm going to wait until I feel more comfortable, and I'm not just telling you what I think that you want to hear, but when it feels right or when it feels very necessary for me, that's when I'm going to speak. And whatever the process has looked like, it feels like it's led to a level of comfort within. They've kind of relaxed into these feelings, but then there's a sense of like, now I need you to know. I need you to know that this is my truth and I accept this fully. And I'm excited about this fully. And I want you to know this fully too. And then I don't just want it to end there. I want that to be a first step in a brand new direction for the two of us, where we are moving towards forgetting regrets of the past, forgetting the mistakes of the past, forgetting the kind of lack of fulfillment in the past, because we are creating magic in the moment. Because we are experiencing something that is right for who we each are in the here and now. And moving with that energy of something that is aligned, something that feels right. It's like they almost are very hopeful about what the future can hold between the two of you. Not just in terms of like what else they can express, what else they can tell you, but new feelings, new experiences like romantically between the two of you that you can have, or that they're kind of like, I don't even know what those would be. But I know that there are things that are possible that are outside of the realm of my imagining. And it's because you've activated something within them that is beyond the deepest love stories that they have had before, or what they've seen other people have. And there's a sense of like, I want that. I want to capture that moment. I want to make sure that I speak this into existence so that it doesn't just remain bottled up inside. So it doesn't remain as something that is just kind of, we're dancing around it, but we're never really naming it. So that we can get down to the business of loving each other correctly and allowing ourselves to be loved in the way we have each always dreamed and wished we could be loved by another. Yeah, we also have, we will reunite soon. So it feels like this is kind of like the joining of hearts and minds. This is something that it feels like definitely could be a past life connection between you and this person, where it's like we're having this conversation for the first time, but it feels like at a soul level, we've had this conversation before. We've spoken these words before. We've come to this place of inevitability with one another before. And here we are again in this incarnation, in this moment in time, in this lifetime. And what can come next? It's like they think beautiful things will happen by not holding these words in any longer. That whatever the future holds, that there's a sense of almost having come full circle, or answered some sort of call of destiny, answered the call of their heart. They're listening even to their own intuition, to their mind, to everything that is like, yes, take this step forward. Speak that truth even if your voice shakes. And there's a sense of almost like, this is love. I think this is love. I think this is what all of those closed doors in the past were leading me to. I think this is what every heartbreak that I had to put back together again somehow, that might have led to a lot of walls or a lot of fears, a lot of cynicism, a lot of hopelessness. You're that one grain of hope. You're that chance that I took. Or something that even sort of happened no matter how I fought it tooth and nail. And yet you made your way into my heart. Here we are. And so there's a sense of they're ready for what the future holds between the two of you. This is somebody who's surrendered to their feelings for you, and it feels right. And it feels beautiful, and it feels almost like I was born to love you. Part of what I was supposed to fulfill in this lifetime was finding you, and our chaotic journey with one another, and our beautiful journey with one another, and who we have each become through this experience with one another, and the inspiration that has provided for who we become within ourselves. And so this is somebody that is like, they want to take your hand and they don't want to let go. They want to open their heart and they want you to see inside. They want to invite you in. They want to pour from themselves into your cup. And they don't just want that to be a one-off experience. It's like, I feel that it's time. I'm ready. It feels right. The signs feel aligned. It feels like the universe is conspiring in our favor in this moment. And I can't hold this in any longer. Yeah, and we also have, I know we are soulmates. So again, there's like destiny at play. There's something where logic does not explain everything about this connection that is like pushing them towards opening up. Pushing them to be very honest in a very organic way. This may be somebody that they're a very proud person. They like to move when things are very certain. They like to have every angle figured out. They like to control the narrative. And that may have been something that kind of kept this somebody away from the risk of love or the risk of opening up emotionally. Because once you jump in that river, there's no controlling it. You just got to ride it roughshod to wherever it leads. And there's a sense that you are someone, this connection is something that has like pulled them in. They've dipped their toe in the water with you before. They've stood on the shoreline. They've stood in the shallows. And this is somebody that is just like, I want to take that plunge. Whatever the future holds, I'm confident that we can face that together. That like, I'll be the wealthiest person. I'll be the safest person. I'll be the most peaceful person. I'll be the most happy person. I'll be the most authentic person. As I am riding this experience with you, you balance me and you challenge me all at the same time. You lift me up and you reflect everything inside of myself that I have failed to accept and love about myself prior to being able to encounter me through your eyes. This is somebody that is inspired about themselves even by the ways in which you have, in a very inspired fashion, kind of expressed your feelings or held your truth inside. You've given this person, the podium. You've given them the floor. You've said, okay, it's your turn. Show me, tell me, express to me, make me a believer. And this is somebody that is ready to do that. Yeah, and we also have, I want to take our relationship to the next level. So again, that big conversation, something that has been a long time in coming. This person is ready. They don't want to miss this opportunity. It feels right. It feels comfortable, or, as right and as comfortable as it's going to be. Some of you may kind of feel that in the air, feel the anticipation of like, okay, it feels like something's going to happen. Some of you might be like, oh no, is this going to be the breakup conversation? And so it feels like they're taking that into consideration too. Like, no, don't get the wrong impression. I'm not getting ready to break your heart or let you down. I'm getting ready to pour my heart out, and I'm terrified, but I have to do it. It feels right. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to miss out on this. I don't want to keep you in the dark. I don't want to make you kind of wonder anymore. I love you. I have fallen in love with you. I'm falling in love with you. I've always been in love with you. What I feel extends beyond all concepts of love that I've known so far. And so, whatever this is between the two of us, I'm excited for what this is. I'm excited for what it can become. And I'm excited to let you know that in a way that is clear and that is unmistakable, so that we are both armed with this knowledge moving forward. That when we look into each other's eyes and when we spend time with one another and, time keeps passing, that it is from that place of lucidity and truth, that there are not feelings that are held back anymore, but that's all out in the open. And this person feels like this is the right time to let that be known, to bring that out. You have both manifested one another to this point, and this is somebody that is getting ready to take that very bold step, make that very clear declaration to you of their intentions, more specifically of their feelings, so that you can co-create the next chapter with one another. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. Like or comment to claim these energies. Subscribe to my channel if you would like to see more content that I put out here. Don't forget to hit the bell button to get notifications every time I post a new video. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, I offer those through my Etsy shop, and there's a link for that below. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.